Vega launched Instruments in the Cloud, which helps people see a need for their once loved but no longer used musical instruments. Let's give a warm welcome to Caitlin Marlotte.
Well, hi everyone. Good morning. I am so honored to be here at the first 1 Million Cups in Eau Claire. This is just the coolest thing. I'm Caitlin Marlotte. I'm the executive director of Vega, which is a music education nonprofit. And in 2015, we launched Instruments in the Cloud, which is a web app designed to increase access to music education in schools by connecting musical instrument donors directly with classrooms in need. So for a little context here, I was born and grew up in the Poinet Baraboo area, and I learned to play fiddle down at, a little bit over at the Fairfield Fiddle Farm near Baraboo. And this is me with the amazing collars right here, this amazing butterfly collar of the 70s. And so I've played violin almost all my life. And I kind of moved away, came back, was fortunate enough to go to grad school at University of Wisconsin for public policy, moved up to the Twin Cities, and this is me a lot later, much more recently, as an apprentice luthier finishing my first violin. So music and the state of Wisconsin have been and always will be very much a part of my life. So that's just a little context about me. Next slide. Okay, so the mission of Vega is to increase access to music in schools. Now, why is this important? Well, who here plays an instrument? Okay, what do you play? Shout it out.
Oh, piano.
Piano? Flute. Flute? Okay. And who played an instrument in school? Okay, what were they? Just shout them out. Clarinet? Flute? Okay.
Oh, I didn't play in school.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Well, what'd you play?
Acoustic guitar.
Nice. Okay, guitar. And who's a parent? Who's like a band or orchestra parent? Okay, and what are you hearing? Hopefully they're practicing at home. What are you hearing? Saxophone? Okay. Viola.
Trumpet.
What's that?
Trumpet.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So you've seen this play out in your own lives and in the lives of your kids, right? Playing music, learning instrumental music, builds and strengthens neural pathways that are critical to reading and language development. You're also learning collaboration and creative problem-solving skills, pattern recognition skills. This is stuff we use all day, every day, right, in our lives, no matter what we're doing. This stuff comes in handy. And it's a vitamin for learning, and it's an essential part of a whole curriculum. So in Minnesota and Wisconsin, the free and reduced lunch qualification rate is around 40%, just if you average the two states. And what that means, at least in Minnesota, is that if you qualify for free or reduced lunch, that's $45,000 a year annual income for a family of 4. Now try shoehorning a $35 a month instrument rental into that. It's going to be hard to prioritize, right? So a lot of schools offer music education, but what they don't have, thanks to years and years of budget cuts to arts programming, is instruments on hand to lend to those students, nearly 50% of students, whose families may not be able to afford that instrument. So for years and years, Vega went classroom by classroom, finding out what students need, finding out what classrooms need, gathering instruments, raising money, and delivering that to the classroom and moving on, right? And over the years, we get questions, calls from up north, I have an instrument to donate. From a teacher, I need help, right? And that happened in every region of Minnesota and outside of Minnesota. So we thought, how might we help people connect in their own communities to support and stand up for students in their own communities? So we built something that was, that people could use to do that. So okay, so these are the musical instrument drives. These are a couple of pictures from what we did before. And another picture of what we did before. It's actually my screensaver. This is my motivator right here. Okay, next. Okay, so we built Instruments in the Cloud, which, as I said, is a web app that is designed to connect musical instrument donors directly with classrooms in need. So for teachers, Instruments in the Cloud is a free resource where they can quickly create a wish list of instruments they need for their classroom. And donors can go on and find a need. So if you have a trumpet, someday your son moves on from the trumpet and it's just collecting dust under a bed somewhere, you can put in your zip code, put in trumpet, click go. You can find a list of schools near you that need that trumpet. We facilitate the donation receipt. We answer commonly asked questions like how to drop it off and where to drop it off. We even have partnership with Lyft. So if you have Lyft, you can have it delivered by a Lyft driver. So far, we launched in early 2015. We've facilitated more than 1,100 musical instrument donations, mostly to schools in Minnesota where we tested it for a year and a half. Then we uploaded a national list of schools, and now we're working in communities around the country, or at least beginning to. Let's see, in 2017, our goals are to create a sustainable revenue structure for this. Traditionally, this has been supported by community foundations and by community support. We're looking to scale this resource to classrooms around the country and communities around the country. And we're also planning our next iteration of development to add some functionality to this site. So that's that. Thank you.
Okay, Caitlin, how can the 1 Million Cups community support you?
Well, thanks for that question. I knew it was coming, so I prepared a little bit. So I am looking for ideas, resources, and connections about how this might be helpful in Eau Claire and throughout Wisconsin. It would be my favorite thing for this to benefit the state where I learned to play violin. I mean, this would be personally a really satisfying thing. So I would love nothing more than to bring this to Wisconsin and for it to result in more students playing instruments in school and having access to the benefits of music education.
Okay, so ideas, resources,
and connections.
And connections. Anyone or just questions?
Is there anything around the state of Wisconsin that does anything remotely close to this that you could partner up with, possibly?
So locally, yes, there are some organizations. So I'm looking for organizations kind of like Vega, right, who are going classroom to classroom and collecting instruments, and that might be part of an arts program. So if you know of any of those, I know of one in Milwaukee, which is not necessarily very helpful here. So any that are part of this community, I'd love to know more about.
Okay. Anyone else?
Okay, so I own a moving company. We get pianos all the time. I'm sick of it. They sit in our garage, and I have to find people that want them.
Yay!
A huge thing is our contact moving companies. They have pianos. Every house that we get to, I mean, they're getting rid of stuff all the time. I don't know if there's a lot of music stuff. But do you also hit up homes that are for sale or realtors and say, hey, if you have musical stuff, we'd love for them to donate it to us?
We're beginning to do that. I think it's a great idea. Hearing you say it means it's an even better idea. So thank you. We're trying it in one kind of area in Minneapolis. We'll see how it works. But I think that would be a really helpful thing, right? When people are at the stage where they are moving. Also, we have a Google AdWords grant, which gives us $10,000 a month of Google AdWords. So I created a campaign that's about moving. So whenever someone Googles moving truck, they see donate your instrument, theoretically.
What about thrift sales? Do you hit those up?
No, well, I have volunteers who do, but not on our behalf. it's just a hobby of theirs.
Okay, so our first connection, moving
Thank you.
companies.
Thank
from
you.
Vienna.
Okay, moving companies, realtors.
I saw another person.
So how do we make a contact with you if we have a school district in mind that might, I guess, be able to help you?
I'll give you my card. Would that,
Okay,
would that
connecting
work?
school
Okay,
districts.
great. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you provide valuations for charitable donations? I've got a Getson, Doc Severance, and Silver Trumpet. If I donated that, what could I declare for that?
Well, so we suggest that kind of like a goodwill donation, you would need to value your own. If it's something like the trumpet that you're talking about, more of a pro-line trumpet, I think you might want to take it into a music store and get them to take a look at it.
Okay, anyone else? We need ideas, connections, resources.
You may have said this, but do you have more students needing instruments than you have instruments?
Yes. So right now, with the work we do, we also take in donated instruments. We have a storage unit, and we need to get those out to students. Some need a little repair. Anything that's playable is, of course, out.